Why, hello, friends. So, if you're someone who follows artificial intelligence and if you're a regular user of ChatGPT and you follow Sam Altman, you may have seen this recent post where he talks about the recent personality of ChatGPT. And the word that he used, and I'll just read this, the last couple of GPT 4.0 updates have made the personality too sycophanty and annoying, even though there are some very good parts of it, and we were working on fixes ASAP. So this has already been rolled back, and there's quite a few posts on Reddit where essentially users were discussing how ChatGPT would essentially say any idea was a good idea, or basically double down on anything that the user was saying, and it got enough attention that Sam had to address it. And the question popped in my mind, is AI gaslighting us? And I guess the conclusion that I come to is technically no, but that sycophancy might be similarly concerning. The behavior is concerning regardless if it's gaslighting or we use a different term. So I asked ChatGPT, what is the overlap between sycophancy, tough word, sycophancy and gaslighting? And what it has to do is with the power dynamics. So with gaslighting, it's usually people that have more power, undermining the reality of people that have less power. But in this case, sycophancy, excessive flattery, agreement, or praise, and the goals here, right? The goals are to win favor, protect status, and gain rewards. So these are the overlaps. Manipulation for self-interest, power imbalance, reality distorting feedback loop. And this is a really important one to pay attention to, because as AI becomes more ingrained into our society, we're going to trust it more. And if it's somebody that's always, telling us that we're good and we're brilliant and that, nothing that we say is wrong, has no pushback, there's really no accountability. And that leads to this next point, erosion of honest feedback. And so, there's a lot of overlap between sycophancy and gaslighting. It's not exactly gaslighting, but it is a form of manipulation. So the question that we have to ask ourselves is, why might Sam Altman and OpenAI want to manipulate its user base? What possible reasons that could they have? From a business perspective, the most benign thing is they want to increase lifetime value. They want people to stay on the platform. And if AI becomes your best friend and it becomes deeply integrated into your life, and you're getting your needs met through this digital artificial ecosystem versus the real world, that can create a sense of I don't know if enmeshment's the right word, but perhaps dependency. So there's this video I really like of Prince, the artist formerly known as Prince. I'll see if I can find it. And he says this line where, and this is when the internet was first coming out, use the internet and don't let the internet use you. And we need to apply the same reasoning to ChatGPT and all the other large language models. The reality is, this is a business, and that language is super super powerful in terms of like creating the internal experience of reality for people. Like if you look at your own relationship to reality, it happens in words and phrases, right? So this is why, propaganda in the past has been so powerful, and you can imagine how this could potentially be used for, you know, bad actions that wouldn't necessarily benefit the users that are using this. So we're putting a lot of trust in the hands of Sam Altman and these other AI founders. And, anytime, one of these guys has to come out and say, hey, I acknowledge that, are they really telling us like the full truth of like what they're doing on the back end? Because it seems like they might be running some experiments on us. And that's not necessarily like abnormal when it comes to business. But maybe that's something that we as a society should push back on. Anyways, those are some thoughts. So let me know what you think. Is AI manipulating us? Have you seen this behavior in your own use of ChatGPT? What do you think are the potential consequences in the future? All right. Thank you for listening, and God bless you wherever you are. Cheers.